All right, here we go. Episode 12, still churning these out. I mentioned last week that I was going to see the Cardinals play. So yeah, last Saturday and Sunday I went to two games. They played the Rockies. First game was great. Awesome time. Cardinals played well. Great win all around. Awesome time. Game 2 is the reason for the title of the episode. The Cardinals left 15 runners on base in that game on Sunday that I got to be in attendance for. Yeah, 15 runners left on base. To put that into context, the score was 1-0 and the Cardinals lost. Wow, it was a hell of a game to be at. We were quite literally one swing away from taking the lead or at least tying the game. We were literally one swing away for the entire game. I don't know if I've ever been to a game where I could actually say that. So that is actually insane. This game ended 1-0. The Rockies scored one run. The Cardinals didn't score at all. They left 15 runners on base. I don't believe that I've ever been to a game where I could say that the Cardinals were literally one swing away from either tying the game or taking the lead for the entire 9 innings of the game. Every single swing of the bat had meaning in this game. And that has got to be the first time that I've ever been able to say that. Pretty insane. You can only imagine the feeling of watching your favorite team constantly fall short when there's ducks on the pond. I spent an entire about 2.5 some hours on Sunday watching it. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. It felt like an anomaly, and I think the craziest thing about it is, from my perspective, sitting there, I felt entirely just hopeless. I mean, it felt like there was nothing the Cardinals could do to get a run. I mean, there were so many like high pop-ups or, well hit balls. There was a good handful of those, line drives that got caught. There was plenty of, high foul balls where, the start of it, the ball's real high in the air and you see two infielders and one outfielder all running in a triangle, all to the same point, and you're thinking, that's gotta drop. One of these has gotta drop. One of them's gotta drop. They're gonna run into each other. Something's gonna happen. But, you see that so many times. I saw it so many times in that game. It was insane. And not once did a ball get down. If just one would have got down, that game would have been so different. But it couldn't happen once, and it was insane. I was really, really hoping. I was like, we're one swing away. I mean, I couldn't help but be at least a little bit optimistic. Make no mistake, it felt like an unstoppable force. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. The entire game, one swing away from tying or winning. One swing away. Every swing mattered. And sitting there live, I can tell you confidently, it felt like we had absolutely no chance of winning that game. It felt like we had no chance. I wasn't drinking either because, it was a day game. So if I'm drinking at a baseball game, I'm wanting to kind of go in and enjoy myself. So I really wasn't drinking either, Maybe I did that to myself. Maybe that's my own fault. Maybe I should have been drinking. But, I drank the night before. I had myself a good time, stayed up late, all that. I had fun. I was like, yeah, day game. I just don't want to get torched by the sun. That was my biggest fear, and I didn't, thank God. But man, again, the game felt like an unstoppable force was present that day, and it was insane. Again, I can at least take a little bit of comfort, I guess, in knowing that I had a certain kind of baseball experience that will probably never happen again. The entire game, again, I can't stress this enough. I realize this, and I cannot get over it. The entire game, all 9 innings, every single time, every pitch, the Cardinals had an opportunity to tie the game and alter the outcome of it. baseball games don't end in ties. So the outcome would have been different. There were 15 ducks on the pond at that game. It was crazy. It was insane. Something else I wanted to add in about this game. Again, they were playing the Rockies, and there were these 4 Rocky fans like to the left of us. And they were like, about my age, like 20 something, like definitely. And they were in Rockies jerseys, they were cheering during the game, and they were excited, and the game was going well. Also, the Rockies pitcher in that game, the starter, Austin Gomber, he used to play for the Cardinals. He was traded to the Rockies along with some other players to get Nolan Arenado. So Austin Gomber, somebody who's not really been that good this year. I think his ERA is at least like 4 something, if not 5. So he hasn't had a great year. I thought the Cardinals were going to do all right against him. But again, 15 runners left on base. Absolutely insane. But the 4 Rockies fans by us, there was a few times that they were shitting on St. Louis. There was a few times that I'm just like, oh, man, I can't say anything. And, during the game, I'm just like, oh, man, I wouldn't even think about, making a little smart comment or anything, because if the Cardinals take the lead, I'm really not going to care. If the Cardinals can take the lead, I'm not going to care. And again, every pitch they had a chance to tie the game. But the Cardinals did not afford me that opportunity to talk any shit, which I didn't really want to talk shit, but, it would have meant something, I guess. I just needed something. I don't know. But, we didn't even take the lead. So I'm in that mindset for this entire game. And by the time the game ended, they all jump up and they're screaming, they're yelling, they're hugging each other. And they say, "We won a series! We won a series!" And I'm just like, okay. And then they also said, they're like, "St. Louis fucking sucks." So I'm just like, oh, Jesus. You're right. I wish I could say something, but I just can't. Oh, fuck. I had to just eat that. I had to live with that right there. And, it was tough. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I couldn't say anything, and I was just like, they're Rockies fans. Let them have it. I mean, you guys won the day. Good on you. The Cardinals do suck. I can't say anything. If we won that day, we would have won the series. We would have won both the games that I was there. I would have been able to say something if I wanted to, but I wasn't even afforded the opportunity. It wasn't there. It's just crazy. I did want to note real quick, near the end, my cousin Kelsey, she mentioned to me that she listened to episode 10, and I mentioned in that episode that if you told me that you listened to episode 10, that I'd shout you out on the show and I would mention it. I would be very happy to keep my promise and say thank you. So, here I am, keeping that promise. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's one of my more favorite episodes, episode 10, because I talk about Shohei Ohtani, and he's doing some incredible things in baseball right now, and I was really excited to talk about him, and my excitement for Shohei Ohtani is I could do this entire podcast about Shohei Ohtani. I mean, every day about, the general idea of this show is I like to talk about stuff that I really appreciate and love about baseball. And right now, Shohei Ohtani is doing things that we will never see again. So I can't help but, push the good word of paying at least a little bit of attention to the history that's happening here every day. So again, Kelsey, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you listened to the episode. Again, episode 10. If you do give that a listen, even if you don't listen to the whole thing, and you let me know, I'd be happy to keep on keeping my promise. Keep on keeping on. and keep mentioning it on the show every time someone lets me know. So again, thank you. This episode is going up on Friday, probably a little bit later, but hey, that's all right. Look out for an episode earlier this week. I've finally got some more time this weekend, and I got a good handful of ideas. So if look out for a Monday episode. I'm willing to commit to it right now. So for the sake of me following through and guaranteeing that it'll be there. So look out for an episode on Monday. Going to start trying to do a little bit more content since these episodes are pretty short, and I'm having fun, and I got a lot of ideas right now. So I feel like I'd be making a mistake if I didn't exercise it a little bit. So again, if you're listening, I appreciate it. I had fun as always. Look out for that episode Monday. Again, episode 10. Shohei. Just watch Shohei Ohtani clips of him hitting home runs or striking people out because that's a really good time too. All right. That's it. Goodbye.